be the problem. All the ones you tell your troubles to, they don't really care for you. Come and tell me what you're thinking, 'cause just when the boat is sinking, a little light is blinking, and I'll come rescue you. Lots of girls run around in tears, but that's not for you. You've been looking all around for years for someone to tell your troubles to. Come and sit with me and talk a while. Let me see your pretty little smile. Put your problems in a little pile, and I'll work them out for you. All right. Lots of girls walk around in tears, but that's not for you. You've been searching all around for years for someone to tell your troubles to. Let me sit with you and talk a while. Let me see your pretty little smile. Put your problems in a little pile, and I'll work them out for you. I'll fall in love with you. I think I'll marry you. Hey, what's going on? This is David Potts with Songnotes, and today's lesson is for the song Apple Blossom by the White Stripes. Here's what I'm going to cover in today's song. I'm going to look at the chords you're going to need. I'm going to walk through the verse, specifically this strumming pattern, which is a good distinct sound, and you can pull something away for other songs too. I'm going to show you the sort of bridge or this chorus transition section and talk about this strumming technique and how it's a good thing to practice as far as targeting bass notes, right? And then finally I'm going to talk about an alternative way to play the chords in the verse, specifically this bar chord style. Same chords, but it uses bar chords, and also there's this transition from E major to G, which is this. That's a good progression to practice. I'm going to tell you why, so stay tuned. Jump ahead to a certain section if you know what you're looking for. But before I start, remember, everything I'm about to show you, you can find on my website, songnotes.cc. Plenty of other lessons as well. So let's jump right into it, though. Chord-wise, so we're looking at these 4 chords for most of the song. A minor. Start on the 5th string, keep it open, second, second, first, open. A D minor, which starts on the 4th string, so it's open, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. You're going to need an E major. That's all 6 strings. It's open, 2nd, 2nd, 1st, open, open. And you will need a G, so that's 3rd, 2nd, open, open. You're only really going to need the bottom 3 or 4 strings of this chord though, so just worry about this 3rd, 2nd, open, open. Yeah, I will show you how to do bar chords later in the song, but for now I want to jump onto the verse of this song. So the verse strumming pattern, let's talk about that. Really, I'm talking about this sound. Hear how I'm getting that sort of punctuated, staccato, really cut and dry sound for each chord? Here's what I'm doing. I'm basically doing all down strums first of all, except for a final up right before the first down of each measure. So that's down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down, down. And what I'm doing is with my left hand here, I am sort of pulling my fingers slightly off the fretboard just after each time I strum. So see how the sound stops? If you don't do that, you get this ringing sound, which is this. Everything sort of bleeds together. And that's okay for some songs, but for this song, you really want to do the this pattern. Again, just lifting your fingers off the fretboard. So that is a good thing to practice, and here's the chord progression for the verse. So you're doing A minor, and you're going to D minor, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, back to A minor for 8 counts, and then the E to G to A minor. Again, it's E major, bottom couple strings of G, and back to the A minor chord. So again, practice that lift-off technique if you've never done it before. And again, I'm just lifting the pressure from those fingers very subtly. That's all you need to do. So let's talk about this chorus or this bridge, this turnaround section, when it sounds like this. So mainly you're going between A minor, D, A minor, E, back to A minor. The main thing I want to talk about here is your strumming, because it's changing. You don't want to do all those down strums anymore. Now, when you listen to the White Stripes version of this on their album, you have a piano coming in this section, right? So how do you mimic that sound with a guitar? Well, I think changing the strumming is a good way. And what I'm doing here specifically is targeting the bassmost string of each chord first. So that's an A minor, the bass string would be this 5th string, the open A. For a D minor, it would be the 4th string, the D string. And you want to do this. So pluck it once, and then just do a sloppy up, down, 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 up, down. I call this out also because this is a good skill to practice if you're new to it. I don't know what other people call it, but you're sort of doing a very targeted strum where you have to aim. You have to aim for that bassmost string. And eventually you want to do this without looking. And initially, start by looking at the strings and really look at the string you want to hit and go for it. Clean single strum, and then do a series of those looser strums. And eventually, you can get to the point where you can kind of look away, and you kind of are using your muscle memory, like your thumb, your pick hand that's holding the pick sort of knows generally which string it needs to target, and it should have a good idea where it is if you practice this a lot. And the only reason I'm doing this pretty nicely right now is because I've been practicing this song for 2 weeks straight. So I've sort of been living in that chord progression. But definitely practice that if it's something that you're new to, because it'll pay off in so many other songs. Okay? The last thing I want to talk about here is the bar chords you can use as different sort of voicings for the main chord progression in the verse. And you're going to have the same chord names, just different shapes. So this is a A minor, it's 5, 7, 7, 5, 5, 5. And if you played the same strumming pattern, it would be down, 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 down. In a D minor, you're barring the 5th fret. You're starting on the 5th string, 5, 7, 7, 6, 5. And you can do the same lift-off technique. Okay, and now for the E major to the G to the A minor. Cool thing about this is you're going to keep your ring finger and pinky finger on the same 2 strings the whole time. So notice how these 2 fingers are staying on this string. This is good because it really makes this transition from the E major to the G major a lot easier than it normally would be. Normally you're going to do an E with different, you're going to use your, usually I think people use their middle finger and their ring finger. That's fine if you want to do that, but this is a good opportunity for getting your fingers in this E position. So I'm doing ring, pinky, middle on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th string. Ring, pinky, middle. Sliding those 3 up, adding my index finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. And then A minor. So that's a good thing to practice if you've never done that voicing of the E before. I know I hadn't, I can think of, but it was a good, sort of new bunch of neurons to fire together, or whatever they say happens when you learn a new thing, right? So that's how you do the bar chords. You don't have to do them, but they're a way to add a bit more of a change in the sound of the song, especially for the climactic final verse, as opposed to... Again, do whichever one you like. They both work. But I think with that, those are the main things I wanted to show you for today's lesson. If you have additional questions, let me know in the comment. If there's any other White Stripes songs you'd like to see a lesson for, let me know. But otherwise, check out my website, songnotes.cc. All the notes and tabs for this song, for this lesson, and all my other lessons are there. So it's a good resource. Otherwise, this is David Potts. Thanks a lot for watching, and have a great day.